is expected to vote today on a measure to force the release of all of the Justice Department's files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. It's expected to have at least the two-thirds majority needed to pass. After facing pressure from his party, President Trump changed course over the weekend, publicly urging Republicans to support the effort, though he still says calls for releasing the files are a Democratic hoax.
Joining us now is Nierman. He's the CEO and founder of crisis PR firm Banyan. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yes, great to see you as well. So assuming these files are released, what are the implications for President Trump and other high-profile names who might appear in the files?
Well, the people who are predicting that this is going to lead to the instant downfall of the president, I think they are gravely mistaken, and they're overstating the seriousness of what the release is going to produce. You're talking about a president who has made it through unscathed with multiple convictions, impeachments, scandals of a variety of different types. So while I think it's unpleasant for President Trump, I don't think he wants this. He tried to avoid it. But when it became inevitable that these documents are going to be released, he's in the position to basically look at it as a storm on the front, a storm front on the horizon. It's on its way. It's going to hit him. How can he and his team manage to withstand it and then ultimately move past it? And that's what I think they're looking at right now.
It's interesting when you start laying out kind of all the things he's been able to weather here. I have a question for you. Would you want to be his crisis PR guy, or would you want to stay away from it? And what is the optimal narrative right now that you want to control around the release of these files?
Well, you know, I wrote in a book called The Cancel Culture Curse a couple of years ago that Donald Trump is the single least cancelable person on the planet.
Who's number one?
He is. He's number one, the least canceled.
Oh,
okay, got it. Okay, so I thought you said number two. I apologize. I've been fighting something.
Teflon Don, they use that term for John Gotti. No. Teflon Don is Donald J. Trump. Make no mistake about it. He has the uncanny ability to just continue pressing forward and moving forward no matter what. So, look, I think actually the move that he made in calling for the Republicans to release the documents was actually quite savvy. A lot of it has been presented in the media as he was forced, he was pushed to this, he didn't want to do it. I actually think it's kind of clever because now, regardless of what comes out, he can say, one, if there's something in there that looks bad for him, he'll say, no, it's not true. It's not the case. After all, if I'd really done anything, why would I have called for the full release of the files? Obviously, I'm not worried about it. So I think he's as always, people are underestimating the degree to which there is a strategy behind his communications approach.
Interesting. Okay, so from a crisis communication standpoint, what are the first 24 to 48 hours supposed to look like?
They're critical because what you don't want is misperception or a narrative to harden into concrete, because then it is much, much harder to go back after the fact and try to undo that. I think what you can witness right now is the Trump White House working to change the narrative in advance. So the good news for them is they've had plenty of time to prepare for this. And so I think for them, the first 24, 48 hours, if I'm predicting, you should expect them to shine a light on all of the other people who are highlighted, including especially his political opponents, Democrats. And what I think the other people, not Donald Trump, but everyone else who gets connected to Epstein, they need to be going into hyperdrive in the first 24 to 48 hours to separate themselves from the scandal, explain themselves, and try to mitigate the disaster.
Okay, so what indicators would you say would probably tell you that the story is either going to grow versus burn out pretty quickly?
Well, all you have to do is look at the timeline. It hasn't burned out. It's been something that's been talked about for years and years and years. I think for me, the barometer is to look at what happened overnight with former Treasury Secretary and the president of Harvard, Larry Summers. He announced that he's stepping back from his public duties. He released a statement saying he was embarrassed and ashamed of his connection with Epstein. Don't be surprised if this is the canary in the coal mine and you start to see lots of other very high-profile, powerful people drawing a separation between them and Epstein, because inevitably there are going to be a lot of big names that come out in these emails.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting to watch, and we'll continue to follow this. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Great to be with you. A lot to talk about.
I know. I'm sure he's going to have a fun day watching all this for sure. Thank you.